What's up, everybody? What's up? Not everybody, because it's only you listening, right? What's up, you? This is Robbie Cornelius. This is Robbie Cornelius, and I wanted to do a live stream today about business and happiness, 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 business. You get my point. Business and happiness, okay? Business and happiness. If you're wondering why I'm acting the way that I'm acting right now, it's because this is the way I choose to act right now. I act different ways, different times of the day. So anyway, happiness and business, okay? And it is my firm belief, and it has been my experience, that if you are happy, you will have business. Michael, what's up, Michael? Somebody named Michael Torres just came in to my live stream. What's up, Michael? If you are happy, you will have business, okay? If you're happy, you will have business. You will attract people through the magnification of the energy that you are putting out into the atmosphere. You will attract more customers, more clients, more money. You will attract all of those things because in today's society, one of the number one things people struggle with outside of money is happiness. So if you can do a great job at maintaining your own happiness, people that want to be happy will be drawn to you. People that want to be happy will be pulled to you if you yourself decide that you're going to be happy. That's the cool thing about this. And so Matt, what's up, Matt? Matt, when you look at yourself, okay, in the mirror, when you're brushing your chops, okay, I want you to see something great about yourself. Find something that you appreciate when you look in the mirror, okay? When you see yourself in the morning, find something that you appreciate about yourself. Because when you do that, when you find something that you appreciate about yourself, you're going to build self-confidence. And because you feel great about yourself, when you come across people in the world, you're going to just radiate an energy that makes people feel good about themselves, okay? So that's how you do it. You want to make sure, hello, how are you? You want to make sure that you are feeling good about who you are as an individual, okay? Now, some of this stuff that I'm talking about right now is going to be some of the stuff you've heard me say because repetition, okay? Sometimes it takes repetition for us to really get it, for it to really click. I know if you're like me, you know, I don't know if I learn a little slower, but sometimes it takes me repetitiously seeing a thing or hearing a thing for it to finally click for me. And that's what I want to remind you of because right now, man, you scroll down social media, I used to say it was mainstream media, but it's not even mainstream media anymore. It's social media that's spreading a lot of the negativity. And I want to be someone that is here to remind you that every single day in every single way, you have the ability to choose how you want to feel about yourself and the world around you, okay? And yes, especially us hard-headed folks, absolutely. When you're hard-headed, when you're stubborn, like I'm stubborn. When you're stubborn like me, you're like, man, I'm doing it my way, okay? And sometimes my way isn't the best way, but sometimes it takes us repetitiously hearing something or seeing something for it to finally click. And so that's what I want to remind you of today, okay? Today, you turn on the news. You look on social media. Everybody is here to remind you of how sucky the economy is. Everybody's doing that. Everybody, everywhere you go, all the housing market, the stock market, the NFT market, the emotional market, the crime rate. You hear about it everywhere. So sometimes if you are constantly being inundated with negative information, you might get to a place to where you're like, I don't even know why I feel this way. It's like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, I don't know. I don't even know why I feel this way. Right? And you're feeling all kind of ways. You don't even understand why you're feeling that way, but it's because you've forgotten about all of the information you've been consuming on a day-to-day basis. Just on a day-to-day basis. So it's even harder for a lot of people now, because back in the day when there was only TV, you had to consciously choose to turn the TV on. But now with smartphones, you're constantly being notified. If you have your notifications on, you're constantly being notified of every single time somebody likes your video, or every time somebody comments on your video, or every time one of your favorite creators posts. And then you go on there and you look at that. And then after you look at that, you are now scrolling, and all of a sudden you're lost. Your thumb is working. I bet you your dominant thumb is bigger than the other thumb. It's always working, baby. It's always working. Your thumb is always like this. And because your thumb is always working and your brain is always consuming information. So one of my first tips that I tell everybody, man, be mindful, be very, very mindful of the information you allow to enter your mind on a regular basis. Be mindful. I'm talking about music. Music can affect you too. You ever heard somebody say, that song made me cry, or that song made me happy? Well, the song was an instrument that tweaked your state of being. So you have to be careful about the music you listen to. The music you listen to can put you in a mood. And we all should know that the mood we're in determines the way we behave. The way we feel determines the way we behave. Thus, it determines the action we take, and thus that produces the result that we get in life. So I try to make it a habit to listen to music that make me feel good, music that makes me feel alive, music that makes me feel the way I choose to feel in this moment. And so I'm encouraging you to think about, what kind of music do you listen to often? What type of music do you listen to often? What type of TV shows do you watch? Ooh, that's a big one. What type of big TV show? What type of TV shows are you watching on a consistent basis? What type? Do you like drama? Do you like comedy? Do you like horror? Do you like suspense? Do you like sci-fi? What type of movies are you consuming on a consistent basis? What type of TV shows are you watching? What content are you reading on a consistent basis? What is it? You got to be mindful of all of it, because all of that is literally like a mental diet for you. It's your mental diet. And we all know that what we eat affects our body, but also what we see, what we hear, what we read affects our mental diet. It affects our mental chemistry. Okay. So I want to give you a prescription, if I can, an emotional prescription to consume, or first and foremost, to be mindful of the content you consume on a consistent basis. And then also maybe even limit the content you consume on a consistent basis. Okay. So always remember this when you're consuming content. Okay. When you're consuming content, always remind myself, okay, this is going to affect me at some level. You know, I had a habit of falling asleep to horror films in the past. Horror films, watching horror movies. And then I started to realize, like, man, why am I so anxious when I wake up in the morning? I thought back, oh my God, it's because I watched that horror movie last night. I was speaking to someone a few days ago about their constant obsession with the Johnny Depp story. I said, listen, don't be surprised if your relationship gets a little rocky in the next couple of days. And sure enough, the relationship got a little rocky. And this person said, How did you know that was going to happen? I said, because every single day on your Facebook page, you were posting about the Johnny Depp case. You're consuming information that's based on a disastrous relationship. So unconsciously, you start to bring some of that into your relationship. They were like, oh my God, you really think that had something to do with it? I said, yeah, absolutely it had something to do with it. Was it bad before? No, it wasn't bad before. We were getting along. Of course. You've been consuming the Johnny Depp case, thinking about it, talking about it, sharing it. You put that into your vibration, you put that into your spirit, and then unconsciously you communicated that vibrational language to your significant other, causing him to now become infected with the vibrational dis-ease and lash out at you in a certain way or criticize you about this and that. And all of a sudden you guys are at odds with each other. So you got to be mindful of the content you consume. And I know, man, a lot of this stuff is addicting. It's attractive. It makes you want to watch it over and over again. You can't get enough of it because it draws you in emotionally. That's the power of emotion. But you have to ask yourself, is this what I want in my vibration? And the answer is no, I didn't watch any of it. Okay. People would try to tell me about it. I'm like, man, I don't know what even the case is about. Okay. Who cares about the Johnny Depp case? Not me. Not because I don't care about them, but because first of all, I don't know them. And then second of all, I don't want that mess in my vibration. Okay. Another thing you have to be mindful of, the news, when it's so weird, right? Check this out. Let me tell you how most people are. There was an article came out today that says Elon Musk wants all of his workers to come back into the office because he no longer believes that working remotely is effective. And I said to myself, watch all the copycatters now make their employees come back to work because they're getting their leadership from Elon Musk. Nothing's wrong with that. But some people are going to base their entire decision making related to a certain subject off of what they saw somebody else do. Think about that. So many people are about to lose some really good people on their staff simply because they want them to return to a physical office. In a world of technology, they want people to, it just shows you how information influences people. How many people do you think, how many bosses woke up, read that article, saw where Elon Musk made a decision to bring all his people back to the office and then made them say, okay, we're going to come back to the office now. And so you want to be mindful, guys, of the information that you consume. Okay. Here's another thing you want to be mindful of. The words that you allow to come out of your mouth. But before we go there, let me talk about another thing, the thoughts. Okay. You have to be mindful of the thoughts. Your thoughts are so powerful. Your thoughts are so powerful. Your thoughts literally influence the chemistry of your biological makeup. You can literally sit here and think a thought that makes you physically ill, that makes you physically sick to your stomach. You can sit here and literally conjure up a story in your mind that makes you physically ill. You can tell yourself a story about your mother, your sister, your daughter, your husband, your wife, and about the world around you. You could tell yourself a story about those people, places, and things, and it literally causes you to feel a certain way. Wow. Why do you allow your mind to conjure up all of these stories? It's the stories you tell yourself, about the world around you, about people, places, and things that causes you to feel the way you feel most of the time. It's those things that determine your state of being. And you want to be in the habit of being mindful of the way you are feeling. Okay? Because your vibe will attract your tribe. If you think good, feel good, you will live good because you'll be taking action that is influenced by the emotions that you have. So you want to get in the habit of thinking really good, feeling good, think good, feel good. You want to raise your energy, change your state of being, get absolutely pumped up about the way that you feel right now. Get excited about life and it will radiate. And here's the craziest thing you could do that'll change your life right now. If you can allow yourself to get excited about something that hasn't even happened yet, you got yourself a good life. I'm going to say that again. If you can allow yourself to get happy, to get excited about something that hasn't even happened yet, you got yourself a good life, because your body can't tell the difference between the excitement you feel for something in the future or the excitement that you feel for something in the present, because the body is going to react to that and respond to that now. It responds to that thought that you have about the future now. This is why you can become stressed out about thinking about the future, and your body's like, okay, I received that information. So pay attention to the way you feel, because when you feel a certain way, that's your body letting you know that it received the command that you just gave it. Ooh. Yee. When you feel a certain way, that's your body's way of letting you know that it just received the command that you gave it. And that command that you gave it can be an conscious command or an unconscious command. What is a conscious command? Here's an example of a conscious command. I affirm today that I am choosing to think and feel good about myself and the world around me. When you do something like that, when you say that out loud consciously, that's a conscious command. But when you just wake up and roll out of bed and just go through the motions, those are unconscious commands. You are waiting on the external world to cause you to feel a certain way. And because the external world makes you feel a certain way, your body receives that command too and says, I got it. So you have to be mindful about the commands that you're sending to your body. Your body speaks to you through the language of emotion. Your body speaks to you through the language of emotion. So when you feel, judge that feeling and ask yourself, what command did I give my body that made me feel this way? Whether it's a positive perception or negative perception. What command did I give my body at a conscious or unconscious level that caused me to feel the way I feel right now? And you have to be mindful of this, because if you're not mindful of it, you'll start waking up in a mood and convince yourself that that's just the way you are now. Anytime you practice something over and over again, when you practice an emotional state of being over and over again, in that moment, you are telling yourself that that's the way you are. So you want to be mindful of the way you are practicing expressing yourself every day. See, what you don't know is that you can choose your character. We all play characters. We're all playing a character in a movie called life. And you can choose to play any character you want to play. Now, here's what happens to most people. The character that most people are playing today is based off of their experience of yesterday. Very few people wake up consciously and choose to play a different character today. Very few people wake up and say, you know what? Although This hasn't happened yet. I am choosing to be this way today. And that's when you start to become a master. A master is someone who decides the way they're going to feel internally, regardless of what has happened or haven't happened externally. That's what a master is. A master is someone that says, you know what? This is the way I choose to feel today, regardless of whatever is taking place in the world right now. Because me feeling bad about what happened in the world is not going to make that thing not happen again. And it's not going to stop that thing that has happened from happening. So why would I sit here and allow myself to feel horrible about it? The solution is to be a better person, to be a positive person, to be someone that's consciously mindful of who they're choosing to be in every single moment. And it's hard. It's not the easiest thing to do in the beginning, but if you practice it, just like everything else, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. I remember back in 2011, I was the most negative person you ever want to come across, man. And the end of 2011, I made a conscious choice that I was going to start being a positive person. I wanted to truly be happy on the inside, like a sustainable happiness. And so I made up my mind. I said, you know what? I am consciously choosing to be a happier person. And it was revealed to me that I could sustain my happiness by forgiving every person, place, and thing that I felt did me wrong in the past. And so I closed my eyes and I just started thinking about different people, places, and things that I felt like did me wrong. And I just would see their image come up in my mind, and I would just sit there and consciously say, I forgive you, 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 I forgive you. I sat there for 30 minutes, an hour. I sat there for so long that I literally start to feel a physical change, an emotional state of being, a new emotional state of being started to be revealed to me. And after I did that for a couple of days, man, I just experienced a emotional breakthrough that I'd never experienced before. In 2011, the end of 2011, I experienced true happiness for the first time. And I sustained that for 365 days. My question to you, would you like to be happy for 365 days? I've lived that. And I'm happy most of the time, 95, 96, not even 97% of the time. I'm a happy camper. Not because things always go my way, but because I remind myself of who I am, which is an emotional being, and I choose every single day to be the best version of myself that I possibly can. My life is not perfect every single day, but I see perfection in it in every single way. I choose to wake up and be grateful for who I am as a person. I choose to be grateful for the things that I see when I look out of my eyes. And I also choose to recognize, things that I don't like, but I realize that the solution is to focus on the solution and ignore the problems. So we got to make positivity louder in our lives and make negativity lower in our lives. We have to learn how to make positivity the highlight and the foundation of our reality. Because it doesn't matter how much money you got, how much money you don't got, doesn't matter how good you look, doesn't matter how ugly you are, doesn't matter how good you dress or bad you dress. It doesn't matter. It's all about the energy that you're putting out. What I learned is that if I could keep my energy at a certain level, then the people that I would come across on a consistent basis would automatically be impacted by me in a rich way. And so that's why I'm here encouraging you today to make sure that you are in the business of happiness and you'll never have to want for a customer. It's Robbie Cornelius encouraging you to master yourself and also master the web. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on, and make sure you look out for more content